Oh, my buttocks. My poor, poor hemorrhoids. Why did they not give us some down chairs?
What really happened? The truth is, I went because he called me. He was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. We talked for a bit, and then at around 3, we split up. Then later, when I went back, I found him lying there. I've been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days, but I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. He looks so happy when he says that.
Mr. Wright, that's completely different from the... Yeah.
Sneeze, sneeze, sneeze. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was afraid you wouldn't believe the truth.
You forgive me if I say I hardly find your current testimony any more credible.
Miss Fay, please begin your cross-examination.
Oh, please, Mr. Wright, don't tell any more lies. What really happened?
Da, da, da.
Okay. Had you ever met the victim before then? No, never! But that day he called me up and told me he wanted to talk about Dolly.
And this Dolly person is...
It's kind of embarrassing. She's my, sweetheart.
Oh. What was that for, Mia?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like slapping something all of a sudden.
Dolly Hawthorne was also the lover of the murder victim Doug Swallow. Before she met Mr. Wright, that is.
So it was one of those nasty love triangles, I see. I hear they're more dangerous than those squares.
Was it Mr. Swallow who indicated you should meet at 2:45?
Don't even get me started on love pentagons.
Yeah, we were both there right on time.
You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct?
Yeah, he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. Everyone called him the alchemist of IVU.
Hell of a title, that. An alchemist, I see.
I gotta admit, it was a little suspicious. He had a whole laboratory and everything.
Damn.
It was filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high voltage electricity.
Oh. Oh, how fascinating. Sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man.
What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for some more details.
The timing's probably important.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I mean, the reason they both decided to meet up then.
Bear in mind, it was the victim who set that time up, so...
Well, yeah, but generally if you're two people in college, you have to work around both your schedules.
Alright. So you are absolutely certain that you met at 2:45? Yeah, pretty sure. That's the time class ends. But they're always doing experiments, so it doesn't matter much. Experiments? Yeah, those pharmacology guys are always in the lab whipping up something. Well, it looks like he's right about the time anyway.
Wait, Ace, let's go out with your testimony.
That didn't help much, I don't think.
Eh.
Should I go back and do the other one?
I mean, I don't really see much important about it.
I'm gonna try it.
I have a feeling custom medicine's gonna play a role in here. I wonder if Phoenix was in a part of a drug trial.
I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about the pharmacology department. Well, okay, sure. I don't know all that much, though. A little bit earlier in your testimony, you said something interesting. You said the department uses strange machines that run on high-voltage electricity.
Yeah.
That's right, and they sure look dangerous. They use non-standard voltages, so there are high-voltage cables everywhere. High-voltage cables? Yeah, there were electrical poles set up all around the building. The high-voltage cables run overhead around the roof. Finally, I think we're getting somewhere. You have to remember, they don't know that he was killed by that wire yet.
Yeah,
they just know it was electricity. They're stupid.
Yeah.
So what was it you were talking about? You know, that maybe we should hang out again sometime. Hang out again sometime? I wish that were true.
You said they were talking about Dolly.
Yeah. So you say you went back. Yeah, that's when I found the body. Yes, but why did you go back in the first place? Weren't you angry with him? Well, that's right, I was. Then why,
Where did
Mr.
she
Wright?
pull that from?
Why did you go back there? What?
That he was angry with him.
I mean, I think she just... Well, I think she gathered it because of the fact that he called him a stuck-up British wannabe.
I guess.
Why did you go back there? I thought maybe we could make up.
Make up sex.
Sneeze, sneeze. Judging by the atmosphere, pretty sure no one is buying this.
Rebel!
It's rather unusual to catch a cold this time of the year, isn't it? Yeah, I always get a little careless when the weather starts to warm up. Guess I shouldn't sleep with the window open this early in spring, huh? I suppose common sense is not always common. So, did anyone else know that you were taking cold medicine? Well, I always took one after meals, so I'm pretty sure all my friends knew about it. On the day of the incident, what did you do for lunch? Huh? What does that have to do with anything? You can never be too sure. I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us. Dolly's homemade lunches are just the greatest. Her mini omelets are magically delicious.
Mini omelets? Ouch! Why did you punch me in the jaw?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like hurting someone all of a sudden.
This is coming out of your pay, you know. I think that's enough for now before Mr. Grossberg suffers a kick to the balls. So the defendant and the victim met approximately at the time of his death. And then the defendant returned to the scene for some unknown reason.
I'm not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle either.
Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted.
What do you mean?
I knew it was too much work for a little girl.
However, there's one mystery that still remains.
There is, Your Honor.
How the fuck did he die? Yeah, see, there you go. What I said. Just how was the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct?
Well, that is, you are correct, Your Honor.
Good, glad you agree.
So how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed?
He swallowed something.
If I could somehow establish how it was done, maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like a rose.
He ate a battery.
Your Honor,
Yo,
I believe that if we were to piece together everything we've heard up until now, we should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died.
sweet.
Quite the brash statement coming from a rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court, yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence.
Of course I know that. Actually, I had totally forgotten about that.
How? Now then, Miss Fay, let's see what you've got. Show me how you believe the victim was electrocuted.
As for the cause of death, I'd say this picture captures it quite well.
Whoa. There's nothing that even remotely resembles a murder weapon here. Afraid the defense is going to have to explain this a bit more in detail. Miss Fay, where exactly in this photo is the murder weapon? Is this thing you and the other guy spotted at the very beginning of the case?
Well, naturally, it's right here.
What is that?
A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor.
Oh,
Remember the testimony we've heard? The machines
Yes.
the pharmacology students use in their experiments require high voltage. And because of that, there are special high voltage cables strung up everywhere.
woman, I said yes, you didn't have to repeat yourself.
Go
So,
for
the
it.
high voltage cable.
Yes, the high voltage cable is the cause of death. That is the most likely explanation.
Cool beans. Certainly sounds plausible. I'm improving my vocabulary with hip sayings. Is it working?
No.
Damn. Well, Mr. Payne, what do you got to say about this, you old fart?
I think it works quite well. And I believe some praise is in order.
Don't toy with me, old man.
Now,
Oh,
the victim's cause of death may indeed have been a high voltage cable. However, I want you to think about what that really implies. The only one who had the opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon was the defendant.
Or Mother Nature and, wind.
Or anybody else who happened to walk over at any point while he wasn't there.
Much is certainly true. Everything.
Yes, and that's not all. We have proof. Irrefutable proof that will establish that Mr. Wright was a murderer.
And why have you hold this back? Well, what is it?
His fingerprints.
Oh. Fingerprints. You mean that the defendant's fingerprints were on something besides the medicine bottle?
Stop yawning, it makes me yawn.
Sorry.
Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket. And as you may know, leather holds fingerprints quite well.
Really?
Ah, you mean...
Yes, it was quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket. The palm print of the defendant's very own hand.
Ah, a grope session. I mean, what?
I can only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left a print like that. Intent on murder, he squarely pushed the victim towards a severed electrical cable.
That's pretty damning. Order! That's right, Dave, you be quiet. It's enough. I think we can conclude there's no reason to continue with this cross-examination.
French fries!
Damn it. Got Julia doing it now, too. Stick and fork in us. We're done.
Mr. Grossberg!
My hemorrhoids never lie. Show's over, Mia. I have future-predicting hemorrhoids. I knew that boy was guilty the first time I saw him.
No, you're wrong. Your hemorrhoids are wrong. Mr. Wright is innocent. Your hemorrhoids are guilty.
No further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt.
Your Honor.
At this time, I am prepared to render a verdict in this case. Do you have something further to add, Miss Fay? You shouted.
Is this what you want, Mr. Wright? You still haven't told us the truth, the whole truth. If you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand down his verdict. But I can't. I just can't say it. If I told you what really happened, then I'd be... It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me.
Plus, it's gonna happen anyway.
Miss Fay, no matter what it is you have to say, I believe in you and I'll represent you to the very end.
You failed your first dice roll. It's time to roll again, even if it's with a penalty.
We've already established the defendant's guilt. There's no further need for him to say anything.
Wait a minute! Mr. Wright, I'll tell you what really happened.
But I've already told you, Mr. Wright. There's no need for further...
I did it. I admit it, I pushed him. It's my fault. My fault that Doug Swallow was dead.
Alright, confession.
That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's gonna be bad news. You're lying! Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Stop it! Don't talk about her like that!
What you just said, was that the truth?
Yes, I was afraid that if I told the truth, everyone would think I was the murderer for sure.
Well, as things currently stand, we're all absolutely convinced you are.
But please give me one more chance to explain. This time I swear I'll tell the whole truth. It'll be okay, won't it, Miss Fay? I believe in you.
Oh damn, he's guilt tripping you.
Oh, thank you. I still can't believe it. I really did push the victim.
Feels like my hemorrhoids are doing the Harlem Shake.
Let me know this game came out long before that meme happened. Yeah. That guy, he was talking bad about Dolly.
Called her a sex dolly.
I lost my temper and gave him a shove. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. So I went back, but he was just laying there dead.
Well, the explanation is really quite simple. When you pushed him, Mr. Swallow flew back and touched the electrical cable. He died from the shock, and that, as they say, is that.
Simple explanation indeed.
Here's the thing. How did the cable get cut, though?
That's a fair question, but, you know, shit happens. Probably a tree branch or some random shit, except for the fact that there's one right above it, so that's actually fairly unlikely. See, look.
Yeah.
That shit got cut.
Yeah. Also, why is the umbrella bent?
I mean, it could have just happened when it fell.
I mean, umbrellas are sturdier than you're giving them credit. Here's a better question. Why is he over there dead and his umbrella is all the way over there?
Wind.
What's that thing behind him also?
Looks like a bulletin board.
Yeah, I got nothing else.
Alright.
Alright, moving on.
Just ignoring how he was flipping off the camera.
Yeah, the only real odd thing I could figure out is the fact that, yeah, the cable was cut, but it couldn't, like... a sort of high-voltage electrical cable, I don't see why it would just snap like that, so...
Stuff gets old and decays.
At the time of the incident, light rain had been falling. Wet from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted.
But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. If there had been something like that, even I would have noticed it. It's true. But misspelled doofus, but like him couldn't miss that.
Doof. Miss Faye. Let me warn you right now that if your cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without further delay. Are we clear on that?
Yes, Your Honor. Don't give up, Mia. If he is innocent, there must be some kind of evidence somewhere that will prove it.
Dun, 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 dun. You bet I'm a girl.
So what kinds of things did Mr. Swallow say to you? He said all sorts of terrible things about Dolly. He said that she was a bad girl.
Oh, I'm sure she was. Ho, ho, ho. Is that all?
Yep.
Well, Miss Faye, you heard him yourself.
Oh boy, you're not doing yourself any favors here, Mr. Wright. Please don't make this harder for me than it already is. Anyway, after he said that, I just... Can you tell me about what happened in a little more detail? That guy, he just said what he wanted to say to me. Then he put on the jacket he was holding and started to leave. That's when I lost my temper and flew into a furious frenzy. I just gave him a light, gentle shove to the chest that knocked him over. When you did that, there was no severed cable anywhere to be seen. Right! There was nothing like that at all.
But is it possible that you really overlooked it?
Well, I guess it's possible. What are you doing? Don't let the guy steamroll over you like cheap asphalt?
I believe what's important here is the moment the push occurred. Let's continue on with the testimony, witness.
Okay, what loud noise unless this was just him being electrocuted. A loud noise? What would you say that loud noise was, Mr. Wright?
Well, if it was a pop, it was the cable coming apart.
I'm not sure, but it was really loud. It was like, snap!
Yep, cable.
You know, come to think of it, I wonder what that was.
Shut the fuck up.
Clearly, Your Honor, it was the sound of the victim being electrocuted.
True, that sounds like that too.
No, it doesn't.
Electricity arcing does sound like a snap.
The same kind of snap, though?
There are a lot of kinds of snaps. Just the word snap in general is a wide variety of sounds.
I guess. I was just trying to imagine in comparison to, like, a cable snapping. You're not qualified to decide that! What should I do? I'm treading on some dangerous ground here.
Details.
Mr. Wright, that loud noise you heard may be extremely important, so try to remember what it was. how do I put it? It's like a sharp crack. Aha! Could it have been? Yes, could it have been? Hurry up and tell us. When I pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding.
Snapping umbrella would do that too. Damn, he got some air on that push.
He felt. Yeah, that I wonder why he doesn't use that hand nowadays for pointing. It carries a lot of force.
It's just like, if I point with that thing, everyone on that side of the courtroom just gets flung against the wall.
It's like a Fusro dog with a finger. He fell right on top of it and it broke. That was probably the noise I heard.
Umbrella, huh? And did that umbrella belong to the victim?
Yeah, it was a plastic umbrella. Cheap and frail. Kinda like the owner.
Damn, son.
Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was totally soaked to the bone.
How wet were you? Oh wait, we just heard. Miss Faye, cover for me. What do you think? Is there something important in that testimony just now?
Well... Yes. This is it, Mia. The new information you've been waiting for. Of course it's important. No, this cheap umbrella is more than important. It's vital. I want to officially have it entered into the testimony.
Calm down.
How perfectly fitting. Flimsy information for a flimsy lawyer.
This court agrees to the defense's request. Witness, please add that bit about the cheap umbrella and the snapping and the, what else, into your testimony. Yeah.
So Mr. Swallow fell on top of his umbrella. You are certain of this? Yeah, it was right there under him. Actually, if it hadn't been under him, I was planning on borrowing it for myself. After I pushed him. The umbrella, you mean? Well, yeah, you see, I was wearing this sweater here. Dolly stayed up late for nights at a time knitting it for me. I didn't want the rain to dampen the handmade symbol of her love.
My stomach is not to be used as your personal soccer ball, Mia.
I'm so sorry. Why am I not arrested yet?
I'm cushy. Continue on with your testimony, witness. I want to see how much abuse Mr. Grossberg can take.
So have you seen the problem yet?
I haven't been... I admit I didn't pay too much attention. Which one?
Okay.
Fell on top of his cheap umbrella. Okay, yeah.
He fell on top of his cheap umbrella.
And also he fell onto his back.
I mean, not necessarily. But... like, he fell on top of his umbrella, which is over there. So he got moved.
Yeah.
Or he did move, he didn't die when he got pushed.
I'm wondering if maybe he was getting up and then, touched his back on the cable.
I don't think there's... I know we saw Turnabout Storm and all, but I don't think any of these murders are downright accidents with no guilty party. I think it's more like someone else came along and then cut the cable and touched it to him or something. Or pushed him onto it or whatever. Especially since, once again, the Phoenix outright said that he didn't see a cut cable.
Yeah, but I think maybe they set him up to touch it whenever he got back up or something.
Maybe, but that'd be pretty hard to prove. But, alright, anyway. Should I press everything or should I just present the evidence here already?
Just present the thing.
Alright, yeah. We're not gonna press everything if we already know what to do.
Oh, we're having that rule this time?
Yeah, I'm not gonna keep pressing stuff afterwards if I already know what to do. I'll try it, and if it ends up not working, then I'll go back to pressing. Why didn't you testify about the umbrella from the very beginning? Come on, if I mentioned that, I would have been able to counter the prosecution's arguments earlier.
What do you mean by that?
Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, if you look closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it's by the electrical pole.
Is it? You're absolutely right.
I mean, it kind of is if you take into account. Okay. I mean, if they say it is, then it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just go with that. Like the same thing with the goddamn, the box in the last game.
Box.
When I was like, no one's gonna be able to fit in that. Oh yeah, we haven't seen a box this case yet.
Damn it! I need to find the box. It's the key.
The conclusion here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, he was inside a box! I mean, after he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive.
Life is a box. Order! Order! The victim, he moved? Mr. Payne, the umbrella in this photo, where is it now?
Well, it was collected by the police at the crime scene.
Good. I want to present it as evidence immediately. Well,
Alright,
it's
we got
not
it.
inside out.
But the umbrella could have simply been blown away the air by the wind.
Wind.
According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There's no simple way. There's simply no way it could have been blown there by the wind.
What if he farted?
But
I know this matter of the umbrella seems relatively trivial, but as long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot render final judgment.
no!
Calm down. However, I still find it hard to believe that a huge hole has been blown in the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony.
Yeah, let it be known real quick that, like, I appreciate this and I'm glad this doesn't happen, but at no point in the game does anyone ever go, I think that entire testimony was just a lie.
They did that in the last game. It's like, I think that was bull.
When did they do that?
Like, I think like in the last trial at least a couple times where Phoenix was like, that whole thing was bull. And it was.
Okay, yeah, but I mean more like it's more like it's always like that testimony, a lot of parts of it were fake, but there was some truth in it. It's never like, literally everything was made up. Shut the fuck up. Like, nobody, you would have think that someone would be like, Phoenix lied in his testimony there. None of that was true. Like, because bear in mind, the only reason we're going like, he landed on top of his umbrella is because Phoenix said so.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well done, Mia. Good job not hitting me.
I still
Oh,
have my
shut up.
pompadour.
Mr. Payne, what are you chuckling about?
Pardon me, Your Honor. But here's the thing. My hair is like a penis.
Pretty small.
That's because I've got a bigger one downstairs.
I don't believe you.
Shut up. And it seems I was expecting too much of a free ride. It was foolish to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone.
I'm afraid I don't follow what you're saying.
Let me guess. You have another witness.
Exactly. And this witness's testimony will be incontrovertible.
Well, who is this witness?
Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Saw it coming. Dahlia Hawthorne. You don't mean Dolly.
I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is a witness to the whole thing. That's right. She was at the scene of the crime where the murder took place.
What? Rebel.
I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear.
Oh.
Oh shit.
Bad news? You couldn't be more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this.
You can't be serious.
Mia, what do you mean by that? Well, I think this is a good point for us to stop at. Court will now enter a 20-minute recess. Afterwards, we'll listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Now, excuse me, I heard they installed some new swings, and I want to go break them in.
Dibs on the slide.
Good for you.
Whoosh! Boom, boom.